This video is about a repair that I just made on my 2017 tandem Hobie Islander. And the repair was due to a problem that I've been having for a couple of years, which at first I thought was my fault. And then I learned that there are other people out there having the problem. It is where the AKA here comes loose when you're out sailing it. Hit a few small wakes and it would separate. And if the wind was blowing in the wrong direction, you could easily flip this watercraft over. Now, let me say that this is with no doubt one of the most outrageous watercraft devices that I've ever sailed on. It's just a wonderful, wonderful sailboat, kayak, paddle boat. It's just, the thing is phenomenal. But this problem was getting to the point that I was worried every time I took it out sailing that I was going to wind up popping one of these out. So I was kind of losing some of the fun of sailing the boat because I was keeping my eye on this all the time. And actually there's 4 points on here. There's one on the other side there. There's the one here. And then there's 2 in the front. Well, the good news is that Hobie has come up with a fix for this issue. And that is what this video is going to be about. How to install those parts, which basically took me about an hour to do. You are looking at the culprit of my problem with my tandem Hobie Islander as to why my AKA, when in light winds or even in mild waves, the AKA would pop out. This was the problem, this $20 part. In a couple seconds here, I will show you how to change this out and put in the new improved Hobie spring hook. So there are 2 parts that Hobie has deemed critical to fixing the AMA popping out problem. And this is the old one. And you can see the design of it. You can look at both the hinge spring hook, which is this piece right here, and the lock bearing, which is right here. Hobie has significantly changed the hinge spring hook. This is what the new model looks like. You can see that there's been a spring added into the middle of it. There's also now pivot arms on both sides of it. But I think the most important part is if you take a look at the hooks at the end of it that actually hook into the hinge spring hook, they're significantly wider. Let me try to put these 2 together, and I think you get a chance to see the 2 of them. So there's more of a positive lock with this now than there was with the old one. The old ones I have in my hand right now. So in order to change out these pieces, the first thing that you've got to do is remove the 2 screws on this side, and then over here on this side, these 2 screws, as well as releasing the AKA from its connection point here. So in order to release this, what we need to do, we just need to push in these 2 buttons and pull it out. Once you release the cast bar casting from the AKA, you now have this piece down here on the end that we need to remove. There are 2 screws on this side, and there are 2 screws on this side. With the 2 screws released, it easily just pulls off. It is possible to put the lock bearing, this piece we just added here, in backwards. The only thing that you need to make sure of is that as you're looking at it, the ramp should be going up, as if you were walking up a ramp. So just make sure that you have it installed properly. Taking the hinge spring hook out could be a little challenging. I found using 2 screwdrivers after the screws are removed on both sides, and then just sort of walking it out. And then finally what I will do is I will use a curve shape offset screwdriver as a way to force it out when I get into the end of it. So once I'm able to move it down a little bit, I'll take this and then go inside the AKA here and pull it out. So this is the only true pain in the neck part of it, trying to remove this out of that casting arm. So again, I'm using an offset, and I try to get in between the fingers on it. Sometimes it slips, but this is a way to be able to pull it out of the unit. If you still have a problem with it, all else fails, grab yourself as you get closer to the end of it, a big pair of pliers, and that will give you the ability to be able to pull it out. Putting the new one back in again is just the reverse of how you took it out. Again, make sure you have the spring added to it. And because it's square on the sides, it should fit in there pretty straight. And as you compress the 2 tabs onto it, they'll line up as they go through and connect into the larger hole there that tab will come out of. I use a little wood block that actually will fit inside the diameter of that casting, and this gives me the ability just to slowly push it in until it winds up meeting with the post and the hole in it, and you can see the holes pretty much will line up and it goes right in. I just want to make one more comment in regards to an update that Hobie had sent me as part of the AKA updates, and this is in relation to the reef line on the mast. Hobie had added this little eccentric. You can see my finger as it moves up here and goes down. There were problems with the line getting caught in, and this sort of prevents that from happening. Again, I hope this video was helpful to you. Any suggestions or any comments, please add them below.